Hey everybody, how's it going? We're here with a timeless reading. Welcome. The first card that we have out is the Magician. I'm also seeing King of Wands. Okay. It looks like there's an attempt to either stabilize or preserve something. With the Magician and with the King of Wands, Magician is going to be you having something in mind, and King of Wands will be whatever you have to do in order to accomplish exactly that. Having Four of Pentacles, this feels like this is an attempt to restore something, or this is an attempt to stabilize something, or this is an attempt to do something where whatever it is that you are moving in the direction of, you don't want to damage it, you don't want to deplete energy from it. If anything, you want it to stabilize or feel like even more solid than it already is, or if something hasn't been feeling solid or hasn't been feeling stable, this is going to be the time where you make that happen. Four of Pentacles I see as being sort of like laying the groundwork for you to feel like things are the way that you need them to be in order to function properly within your life. So this can be something that needs to be done within a relationship. It can be something that needs to be done with like your resources. So it can be a home situation. It can be your finances. It can be you needing to stabilize your energy. Having King of Wands here, this can also be anything that you're doing to get yourself into like the best shape possible for you to accomplish what you want to accomplish. King of Wands and Magician would show you being capable of doing this. Okay, might be some repairing that's happening emotionally. I'm seeing Three of Swords and Queen of Cups. All right. If you are the person that is the King of Wands, although both of these energies can be yours, but I'm going to talk about it as if these are two different people. If you are the King of Wands, you can be making an effort to stabilize something, and you can also maybe need to repair a relationship emotionally with someone. You can also feel like you're doing that repair work for yourself. There can be some type of healing that is involved in this. For some of you, there can be somebody that's like a little bit emotionally at a distance from you right now. So I'm seeing your stuff over here. Three of Swords and Queen of Cups can be somebody that's somewhere around you energetically, but there can be something that needs to be repaired. It feels like emotionally, mentally, emotionally. Conversation, communication can be part of this. With the Magician being here, you may need to say something. Things will work out in your favor. I'm seeing Magician and Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, if you are the one that is the King of Wands here and you need to communicate with somebody, do that now. You will see that it will be an auspicious thing, meaning things will go your way with this. It looks like communication is necessary in order to make this happen. So you may need to be very like heartfelt. Knight of Cups, you may need to be very heartfelt with what you're communicating, but you'll see that like growth can come of this, and also a situation can shift in a way that you want it to shift, like in a way that you would be feeling happy about the type of change that occurs, the change, the shift, the way that things evolve, that essentially. Because I feel very much like your words have some power here, and you will see that reflected in the situation. If you are the one that is the Queen of Cups in this scenario, if something went down between you and another person and you've been in your feelings about it and you've been like trying to tend to yourself, take care of yourself, but you also could have been like, hearing something from them would be helpful for me right now. It's very likely that this person is going to reach out to you and say something. It is meant to be like healing, it's meant to be nurturing, and it's meant to stabilize things between the two of you. If that weren't the case, this person could have been kind of reserved before, and they may have needed to stabilize something themselves before they could reach out to you and share something or say something. But I am seeing that be what's going to happen. Like, that's what allows things to shift in this situation. Okay, whoever the King of Wands is, which is the person that's initiating this in the direction of another person or with you and yourself, I'm seeing that you may have to sort of put yourself out there a little bit in order for this to happen, meaning you may have to put yourself out there in a way where you're becoming like vulnerable when you're communicating with this person. It feels like trying things in a new way, trying things in a different way, and being really hopeful too. I feel like you're taking action in a way that's maybe a bit different than how you normally do things. But this is meant to be, this is an authentic way. However, it can be something that maybe you feel like, I don't really know what I'm doing, but I'm just gonna like try to do it this way and see if it works. There can be like a leap of faith that's involved. It can be something like that where you're taking a risk or taking a chance in doing something, or you're taking action in like a different way or a new way, and you're gonna see that it is successful. But it may also plunge you into a position that you haven't really, or territory that you haven't really been in before. But it does very much seem like it allows things to stabilize. I wonder if something happened before where there was like maybe a little bit of a risk that was taken and something may have not worked, but I feel like this time something will be successful. I was seeing 5 of Cups wanting to come out. I wonder if something like was stable and then something happened to it, but now it feels like that, like it's actually going to be able to be like that, like something will be preserved. I get the feeling of needing to have faith in what you're doing. Okay. Yeah, something going on between you and another person. It looks like there are just a lot of feelings all around that are being figured out, things being figured out. Okay. 3 of Cups here. All right. Whatever happened with you and this person, you guys are going to be making up, I'm seeing. Feels like things were kind of all over the place before. All right. Having Wheel of Fortune and having the Fool, I feel like you're sort of just throwing yourself into some type of experience here, and you're going to have to see how it goes, but then things end up working out is what I'm seeing. But something can be very like touch and go, or trying to figure it out, or it feels very, what's it called when people do improv? It's like that type of situation that I'm seeing here, where you sort of have to like immerse yourself. You have to throw yourself into something and like try to work it out. And like, I imagine that collaboration is part of this too. But then I'm seeing things be good. There was something that happened between you and this person. Definitely somebody and their feelings about what had happened, but then I'm seeing you guys reconcile. So then I'm seeing the healing that happens. So you go from 3 of Swords to 3 of Cups, which is like a really nice thing to see. It shows things being good between you and this person. Again, Like being in a place of understanding, being in a place of vulnerability, feeling like you're connecting again with them when you could have felt like that was not happening before. Three of Cups is like the heart being open again. Okay. This Queen of Cups is the person that could have been the one that was bearing the weight of most of this emotionally. That's not to say both of you guys weren't emotionally involved or impacted, but the one who seemed more impacted emotionally, or the one within the relationship that can be more sensitive or just like more in their emotions, or like related to their emotions, and the way that they sort of face the world and experience it may be from more of an emotional lens. That person, based off of how they had felt hurt within their experience, I'm seeing them be open, and I am seeing there be a reconciling. At the same time, they're still a little bit defensive, I'm seeing, just because of I just got hurt and I'm thinking about myself here, not wanting to like open myself up all the way and then not be taking care of myself, get hurt again, and then I'm the one to blame. So I'm seeing like their heart is open to the point where you can connect with them, but they may like need a little bit of time to warm up, I'm seeing. It's interesting because like I'm seeing there be King of Wands, so this is somebody in more of a fiery energy, and then you have Queen of Cups, which is someone in more of like a feminine water energy, like more receptive, more sensitive to sort of what's going on, can be like just feeling things really deeply. Not that King of Wands doesn't feel things deeply, but it feels like there's a balance here between the two of you guys. But what I'm seeing too is that this person that's more identified playing this role of the water energy, at the same time I'm seeing them have like kind of a fiery side here, where if they get burnt or if they're hurt in some way, although I am seeing them be willing, if you make an effort to open their heart again to you, at the same time you can feel like it does take them a little bit to like de-escalate and be in a completely open space again. So even though I am seeing them be like willing and open, I feel like it's important not to sweep under the rug that I'm seeing Seven of Wands here, which can mean like someone facing you and being like, I'm open again towards you, like I'm receptive to you. And it will also take a little bit of you like showing me and proving things to me where I can be like completely relaxed or like completely vulnerable, like that type of thing. And like not defensive anymore at all. So it feels like this is really a step in the right direction for sure. You need to be really open in your communication with this person too. They may be like a little bit less giving verbally with you or within the conversation, but you'll see by their actions and where they are emotionally that they are indeed open to you. The person over here feels like they're more of a talker and more of a like taking action. This person over here feels like more just responding to sort of what's going on and what they're experiencing and trying to calculate how they respond to things appropriately. Things changing, be open. You're still figuring things out, so I'm seeing you go into this situation and I will not hold you. What it's going to feel like is that not everything is all figured out when you go into that. That's what I'm seeing. So this will be a thing where you're in this space and things can be very progressive and they can grow, but you won't be like, oh, I have it all figured out and I know what I'm doing and things make sense. It feels like some stuff is still being made sense of emotionally, and those things are still coming to be defined or moving into a place that's going to feel like clarity, but it may not be there yet. This can be something that's still being figured out. This King of Wands, I get this sense of being a bit rigid, but you can also feel like the Queen of Cups is also rigid too, and it can be something that means that there has to be a little bit of flexibility on both ends in order for things to work. Because you can look at this person and be like, I think that they're not always flexible, but they can look at you and be like, well, I don't think you're always flexible. And it's like both of you guys actually can be a bit rigid sometimes. And that's where this trying to make sense of things and work things out comes from. Things could have felt sort of like all over the place emotionally with you and this person, where things are being figured out, but I'm seeing that stuff will settle down. And it looks very much like appropriate action is being taken, and that everyone is sort of like opening themselves back up to figuring things out and being connected. Just do things mindfully, and also give this time to unfold. And don't be set off by things maybe not immediately being figured out. Like, give it time for it to be figured out. If both of you guys are open towards one another and both willing to work with one another, things will eventually be like fleshed out here. But initially what I'm seeing is that it can still be a little bit like what's going on and trying to figure that out, essentially. Okay, this looks like a relationship that you've been working on for a while. I'm seeing eight of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. It's like something that you've invested a lot into, a relationship you've invested a lot into. Just feels like a time right now where you guys are trying to find stability within your situation with one another. What can also be happening too is that you guys there can be like compromises that are being made, but it feels more like from a place of collaboration more than anything. You know how you can have certain default settings and another person can have certain default settings, and sometimes they're compatible and then other times it has to be worked out? I'm seeing this be a time when things are being worked out. But it seems very much like this is something that can be working. Just you're being encouraged to stick with it and to not be discouraged if things don't immediately click into place, because they are being figured out, and it looks very much like they will be being figured out. Just be open, because I feel like if you approach this person and you just need to be really open and very clear, and saying more is better than saying less, it seems like. And be progressive and be optimistic when you communicate with them, because they will very much absorb that. If you're coming through, if you are the King of Wands and you're coming through and speaking to this person in a way where you're like very doomsday with what's going on, they will absorb that. They're somebody that's like very much a sponge in response to where you are energetically. Like, they really take that in, they take your energy in. So if you're coming through and being like really optimistic and forward thinking and progressive and like we'll figure it out, even if you don't have the answers, just being like, okay, we can do this, like we'll figure it out, like things are gonna work, like that type of thing, like just be positive with them, they will respond really well to that, and you will see them open up to you, and it will make things easier, because they will take that on from you. So yeah, if you like really believe, then they will take that on very much, and that's also how they will end up perceiving things with you within the dynamic. So be mindful of that, because they are picking up on sort of where you are energetically with things, and if you're in a place that's determined, it's going to like instill a sense of faith within them, because I'm getting that that's something that they sort of take on from you. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I'm sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.